Welcome to the World Trade Center Utah's 10 Tips to Help You Think, Act, and Succeed Globally online video series. Today we ask you to take a good look in the mirror to assess your company's export readiness. This is tip number 1, video number 2 in our 10-tip series, Asking the Right Questions. So how do you know when your business is ready for international expansion? Exporting is a long-term strategy and investment that can pay great dividends. However, trying to expand internationally when you and your business are not ready can undermine your export efforts and jeopardize your position in the domestic market. Determining your readiness requires asking some tough questions and being honest in your responses. While there isn't a definitive list of questions to assess your export readiness, the following is World Trade Center Utah's recommended starting point. After you have answered these questions, think through other questions you might consider specific to your business, products, services, and personnel. Are my company's products or services successful in the domestic market? For your product to be successful in another market, it is essential that you understand how to market your product and how to service your customers. If your company understands these, it is more likely to experience success in both the domestic and international market. If you don't have a full grasp on the competitiveness of your product, consider your domestic sales strength, market share, growth, price, quality, and features of the product as compared to competing products. While a successful domestic product generally translates to a successful product internationally, there are instances when a struggling domestic product can find success internationally. If you find your product struggling, don't be too quick to write off exporting. WTC Utah's free market research might prove otherwise. Do we have the resources to commit to a long-term export strategy? When talking about resources, we're talking about money, time, and personnel. Like any investment, exporting requires committed resources in order to be successful. So it's important to understanding which country to enter, what product modifications to make, and managing international logistics. Consider your financial security. Just as you would want to be financially stable before expanding domestically, the same rule applies internationally. You will also need to ensure your product is market ready. If you're several months out on your product being available, you may consider using the time to ensure your international strategy is as complete. Is our management committed to exporting? If the management team is committed to seeing success in your international expansion, they are more likely to support a shift in dedicated resources for the effort. An uncommitted management team could undermine the resources allocated to international expansion, stifle confidence, and hinder coordination. The investment of international expansion cannot be an afterthought. Do we have the production and support capability required for expansion? In order for you to reach out to more customers internationally, your production and support capabilities need to be ready to meet potential demand. You need to be ready for the potential volume of orders and be sure you can support customers after the sale. You must ask if your production can support product modifications, what the longevity and dependability of your supply chain is, and how much time will be required to increase production. These will help you focus on production management and the commitment you have from your suppliers. What are your existing networks? Many companies expand internationally because of a connection they already have in place. Working through people you know and trust is always the best option for navigating uncharted territory. If you feel like you don't have any international connections, WTC Utah is here to help. With these questions answered, it's time for you to consider some additional questions specific to your product and company. While you know your products and services the best, figuring out these answers to the questions can be difficult. We invite you to work with our trade services team at World Trade Center Utah, who can provide a no-cost consultation and assist in determining your export readiness and what steps you might need to take to become export ready.